Ever pondered about where Greek mythology, with its pantheon of gods and fantastical creatures, originated from? Let's embark on a journey to excavate the roots of these captivating tales. Greek mythology isn't just a collection of spellbinding stories. It was a cornerstone of ancient Greek culture, shaping their perception of humanity, the world, and the divine. The gods, the heroes, the monsters, each played a role in explaining the unexplainable, in giving form to the formless. However, tracing the exact origins of these myths is as challenging as deciphering the riddles of the Sphinx. These tales were passed down orally, from generation to generation, long before they were etched onto papyrus or inscribed in stone. Each retelling, each interpretation adding a new layer, a new dimension to the myth, making it even more difficult to identify the initial seed from which they sprouted. The roots of Greek mythology are as intricate as the myths themselves, intertwined with the earliest civilizations that inhabited the Greek lands. Our journey begins with the ancient Minoan civilization, thriving around 3000 BC on the island of Crete. This was a society deeply connected with nature and the world around them, a connection that was reflected in their spiritual beliefs. They worshipped deities that embodied the natural world, such as the Earth Mother, a figure that many believe later evolved into the Greek goddess Gaia. The Minoans also revered the mighty bull, an animal that would later feature heavily in Greek mythology, particularly in the tale of the Minotaur and the story of the hero Hercules. The Minoans' love for the sea, the source of their wealth and prosperity, is also echoed in the Greek reverence for Poseidon, the god of the sea. But as time moved on, the Minoan civilization fell into decline, and it was the Mycenaeans who rose to prominence. The Mycenaeans, based on mainland Greece, absorbed much of the Minoans' cultural and religious practices, reshaping them to fit their own societal norms. The Mycenaeans were a warrior culture, and this was reflected in their adaptation of Minoan deities. Fascinating archaeological discoveries like the Linear B tablets reveal a snapshot of this transformation. These tablets, dating back to around the 14th century BC, feature the names of deities that bear striking resemblance to those in later Greek mythology. The tablets mention deities like Potnia, who scholars believe may have evolved into the Greek goddesses Demeter and Persephone, and even Zeus, the king of the Greek gods himself. As the Mycenaeans fell, their religious beliefs and myths lived on, evolving into the Greek mythology that we recognize today. The Minoan and Mycenaean civilizations may be long gone, but their influence is still palpable in the epic tales and powerful gods that continue to captivate us thousands of years later. As we move into the classical era, Greek mythology began to take its familiar form. This period, stretching from the 8th to the 4th centuries BCE, saw the formation of the Greek pantheon as we know it today. This pantheon, an assembly of divine entities, was presided over by 12 Olympian gods and goddesses, with Zeus, the king of the gods, at its helm. Zeus was not alone in his celestial reign. His siblings, Poseidon and Hades, ruled the seas and the underworld respectively. His children too held significant roles. Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war, presided over the city of Athens, while Apollo, the god of music, truth and prophecy, was revered far and wide. The formation of this pantheon was not a random occurrence, but a reflection of the societal values and beliefs of the classical Greeks. In this pantheon, they found explanations for natural phenomena, moral lessons, and a sense of order in a chaotic world. But how did these gods and their stories come to be so well known and loved? A large part of this can be attributed to two influential poets, Homer and Hesiod. Their works, such as Homer's Iliad and Odyssey, and Hesiod's Theogony, served dual purposes. They were not merely sources of entertainment, but also religious texts that shaped the Greek understanding of their gods and the world. Through epic tales of heroism, adventure, and divine intervention, these poets painted vivid portraits of the gods, their personalities, and their interactions with humans. In doing so, they made these divine figures relatable, fostering a deep connection between the Greeks and their gods. From the ancient Minoans to the classical Greeks, mythology has been a constant companion, evolving with each civilization, yet forever rooted in the past. As we delve deeper into the stories of these gods and heroes, we see a reflection of the societies that birthed them, and perhaps a glimpse into our own human nature. Greek mythology, a fascinating realm of gods and heroes, did not spring up overnight. Its roots can be traced back to the ancient civilizations of the Minoans and Mycenaeans. These cultures, rich in their own unique traditions and beliefs, laid the foundation for what would later evolve into the classical Greek pantheon. The tales that were spun, the gods that were revered, all had their origins in these ancient societies. Over time, these myths were refined, expanded, and shaped by the Greeks into the stories we know today. Stories of Zeus, Hercules, and the many other gods and heroes that have captivated our imaginations for centuries. These myths, however, are more than just entertaining tales. They are the echoes of ancient civilizations, a window into their way of life, their beliefs, their fears, and their hopes. As we delve into the mysteries of Greek mythology, we uncover not just tales of gods and monsters, but the echoes of ancient civilizations and the enduring human quest for understanding.